Today we are talking about living intentionally. That is so important and what that means. Well, to set the foundation, let me read you the textbook definition that I looked up. The fact of being deliberate or the quality of mental states, thoughts, beliefs, desires, hopes that consists in their being directed towards some object or state of affairs. The fact or quality of being done on purpose or with intent. Basically, it's about directing your energy towards a specific point of focus. It's not about what you're doing, but how and why you're doing it. And when you're really clear and honest with yourself about your intentions, the what will take care of itself. Intentionality is really a core component, a foundational key to living a life fully aligned, fully alive, fully on purpose, because it forces you to be present. It forces you to get out of autopilot mode and really get honest with yourself and to question things and to be real with yourself about why you're doing certain things and why you want certain things and why you are showing up in your life in the way that you are. It's really not about how long something takes you or what it looks like. It's about your energy. What energy are you bringing to your life, to the specific thing that you are focused on? What energy are you devoting to this thing? And how does that feel? Why are you doing what you're doing? What is the purpose behind it? So many of us don't question things. When someone tells us to do something, we don't question it. We just do it. When society tells us to go to college, get a degree, we don't question it. We just do it. And yet, if we questioned why, what is my intention behind this next step in my life? What is my intention for my life? It could change a lot of things for us. And not every single thing in life needs to be done with the intention of pure-hearted devotion and presence, because obviously that would be exhausting. And it's okay to just watch TV because it's fun, or even to just rush through a day, to let yourself go on autopilot once in a while. But the fact that you know the difference between being really present and being really devoted and making something sacred versus getting on autopilot is the difference. And also recognizing why you are moving through autopilot in that moment, whether it's because you don't have the capacity to do differently, you don't have the time, you don't have the energy. You're clear on the difference. You're clear on how it feels, and you're clear on your intention for that moment, or have a deeper understanding and awareness around why you're showing up in that moment the way you are. Intention ensures that you are creating a life on purpose, that you are embodying the energy that you desire, that you're proud of, that you are growing into the person you want to be. And it ensures that you're being present in your life and impacting others in a way that you want to and that feels in alignment. Intention ensures that the imprint you're leaving on the world feels good to you. This leads us to setting intentions. I am a huge proponent of setting intentions. if you didn't know. It's a core part of my personality. And I do it in every aspect of my life. I love setting intentions for a new season of my life, for a new project I'm working on, for an event I'm going to. Why am I doing this thing? What energy do I want to imprint onto this situation? And how do I want that to affect others if that is part of the intention? Say if I'm starting a new group program or going to an event with other people, how do I want to show up? And setting intentions can also help us ground into how we want our life to unfold. But the thing is, I don't think we can have intentions without reflections. I think reflecting and intention setting go hand in hand. Reflections lead to intentions. They're a core part of the process. Reflections allow you to integrate what came from your last intentions, the last season of your life. They allow you to process what came up and release what you don't need to bring with you into the next season and the next cycle. And that way you can actually integrate and embody this new version of you that came from this past set of intentions. So this is particularly potent when it comes to New Year's intentions, or if you're setting intentions on a birthday or a big chapter of your life. You can really reflect and be like, okay, this is what Theo, hey, baby, no. You can reflect and see, this is what I moved through in this cycle with these intentions. And this is what I learned through that. This is what I am now able to integrate and embody. And this is what I need to release from that. And from there, set your new intentions informed from the past. The past does not dictate our future. We don't need to take it with us. It does not control our future, but it can help inform our process moving forward. And it really helps inform our intentions. But a really important thing with intentions is we can't force them from the mind. We don't want to be living in the mind and making intentions from the mind. Then that just becomes goals. And that's a whole different energy. That's a totally different thing. Setting intentions and making goals are different things. They can go well together, they can work hand in hand, but they are different. When you're setting intentions, you want it to come through you. You want it to be something that feels intuitive. And that's why, again, another reason reflecting is really important. My intentions almost always come through my reflection process. So as I'm journaling and reflecting on what I moved through in this last phase of my life, or whatever this last process was that I'm reflecting on, my next intentions naturally come. It's not coming from my mind. I'm not forcing it or controlling it. I'm feeling what comes up through me, through my heart. And often I don't even know necessarily why this intention is so important to me. For example, I could say my intention is to slow down. And obviously, there's so many reasons why slowing down can be an important intention. But then naturally, this whole next season of your life is about slowing down. And not even in a way that you are directing your energy towards with your intention, but in the way that deciding to have that intention to slow down is so supportive of the fact that your life is calling for you to slow down. This is just an example of how your heart knows your intention, your soul and your body know what your intention needs to be for this next chapter of your life, or this experience in your life that you're setting your intention for, way more than your mind ever could. Setting intentions is an intuitive process. And that's why we have to create space for our intentions to come through. If we are constantly moving through life, just moving, and there's no stillness, there's no silence, there's no connection to ourselves, we never create the space for intentions to come through. And that is a big difference between intention setting and goal setting, because goals you can do while you're moving and moving and moving. But intentions, you have to get still. You have to get silent. You have to create the space for them to come through, and you have to be connected to yourself. That's why our mantra at Intuitively Wild is ritualizing intentional living, because when you can create a ritual around intentions, that's how you create the space for intuitive intentions to come through you. It requires presence and dedicated space to your intentions versus making them another part of your automated routine from the mind. And again, you don't need to be someone who sets intentions for every single aspect of their life, and you don't have to force it. If you don't feel like reflecting, if you don't feel like setting intentions, let it go. It's a very intuitive process. Part of living intentionally, again, comes back to the why, and we are not being perfectionistic about it. If your why in setting intentions is just because you think you should or you're supposed to, then let it go. Ultimately, our foundational intention is to show up as true to ourselves and connected to ourselves and our purpose as we possibly can. And if you're honoring that and devoting yourself to that, you can't go wrong. You don't need different layers of intentions throughout your life if you don't want to. As long as you are just checking in with yourself and how you're showing up, how you feel, where your energy is being directed towards, that's intentionality. The ritual of it is creating the space for what needs to come through. For me, when I'm creating intentions, I love making a ritual of it. I think it makes it really special and makes it really sacred, and it makes life more fun. If I'm creating a ritual out of setting an intention for a certain season or cycle or experience of my life, then it signals to me and to my life that this is important to me, that this is something that I care about, and that I'm going to be really present in it. I'm going to be there for it. And like I said, for me, it always starts with reflections. I have, depending on the situation, either a list of questions that I move through or just stream of consciousness journaling, reflecting on what came up for me. Through that, then I move into what I want this next chapter to look like. And I always create a sentence, a mantra, and from there choose 1 or 2 or 3 words that I want to focus on for this season of my life. And I write them down, or I create a vision board for them. I put it somewhere where I can see it every day or whenever I'm interacting with this experience. That way I am reminded of my intention, because it can be easy to forget our intentions. Especially when we're so used to living on autopilot mode, or if it's something new or challenging for you, it can be hard to ingrain that in your mind. And as you may know, for me, intentions should be actionable and approachable. So I always like to create a couple action steps or takeaway items that I can actually embody and put into practice every day or often to embody my intentions and to know that I am really devoting myself to my intention. Again, intentionality is about directing your energy and your focus towards something on purpose and being honest with yourself and connecting to yourself and doing it in an intuitive way through ritual. It's all about coming back to your why, about coming back to yourself. Yes, sometimes living intentionally means slowing down and taking more time to get clear on the direction you want to take your life. But that means you're actually living your life for you. We want to slow down. We want to create more space. We want to be present in our life, and we want to understand what's coming up if we feel resistance to that. Why? Why do we feel resistance to that? What is getting in the way of you living intentionally, either in your life in general or in that specific moment, in that specific situation? Because just that can give us so much information about what we're going through, or something that we need to heal or look at or connect to within ourselves. Living intentionally has really helped heal me. and support my mental health because it reminds me of my why. It reminds me of my purpose. And it reminds me to be grounded in who I am. And it makes me proud of the path I'm walking because I know I'm doing it on purpose. I know why I'm doing what I'm doing, and I'm proud of how I'm doing it. It gets me out of my head and back into my heart. And I really believe that if we can get out of our head and into our heart, and if we can slow down and get still and get silent and connect with ourselves and get to know ourselves, we will be healthier, happier people, mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally. So those are a couple of my thoughts on intention and intentionality. I would love to hear your guys' relationships with intentions, with intention setting. And if you want a little guided intention setting ritual, it could be fun to do one on here together and go into more detail about how I do that in different seasons and experiences in my life. Say hi. Oh. Say hi, bud. Say hi.